This is a variety show with... Oh, I'm flat. Hold on. Ooh. This is a variety show with no particular niche, baby. It's always about hanging out. Maybe we'll laugh at some stuff, maybe we'll learn something new, but it's always about hanging out, me and you. Hi, and welcome to That Thing with James. I'm your host, James. Hi. If you're a regular viewer or listener, then I did not put out an episode last week, but goddammit, I have come through an absolute dogshit week to get this episode out to you. And I mean dogshit literally and figuratively. But first, some quick business. I have bonus episodes. I had been doing one bonus episode every week, but in the most recent last episode, the episode prior to this one, I did explain a little bit that I have been just saying that I try to get bonus episodes out as often as possible because I am helping family with manual labor things. And that kind of led to what made this past week such dog shit. By the way, it is currently, at the time of this recording right now, it is Sunday, June 5th at 4:06 p.m. So when this episode comes out, I don't know. Hopefully my troubles will have been over. Hopefully this is the last of the troubles. Hopefully I'm out of it right now, but who knows what the next 5 days hold, because I release these episodes on Friday. So I record on Sunday usually and release 5 days later on Friday. So when you're seeing this or hearing it, who knows what will have happened. But there are two good things that I do know are going to happen. Well, one for sure. And then a second thing that I believe is going to happen unless something else happens, unless something falls through. So first good thing that I can guarantee you is that I will have released by the time this right here is out and public, I will have already released and made public the complete and improved version of After the Tone. That is my first ever web series, and I worked with I wonder if I should release this little information yet, or if I should not. I will say this. Why don't I just say this right now? Because who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what the reception will be, if any, if at all, if any at all. I may or may not have been working with an English television producer in making this complete and improved version of After the Tone. That is, I took all 9 separate parts that I released, put them together, improved the editing and some things, and the flow of the whole, so it works as its own singular, complete, whole, new, and different piece. Plus, there is an exclusive interview with the creator of After the Tone. The creator agreed to work with an English producer whose name I will not give away right now. I think I'm going to hold on to it at this moment. But the creator worked with an English television producer to get some exclusive, you won't find it anywhere else, content to go along with the completed collection of After the Tone. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. Listeners, if you didn't know, I have a YouTube channel. And this very show right here, this podcast, it's on YouTube, and because there's a whole video component. So you're not going to miss any of the audio. I don't take any of the audio away, but in fact, it's added value because I have video to complement this this audio of this podcast. And I certainly am not making my own life any easier by insisting upon having a video component to this podcast, this thing with moi. However, I let me put it like this. I am easy to look at. I'm an attractive man, and life is inherently such a kick in the dick that I am perfectly willing and happy to employ any ethically reasonable advantage I can get a hold of or possess. So yeah, I have a video component. I'm going to keep doing the video component. It's been there since day one of this podcast, and it'll be there until the effing end. And you know what? I just said effing. That's right. This is not a family-friendly show. This is for adults. This is for age 18 to 36. Is that the cohort? Is that the fucking marketing cohort? I don't know. I don't care. This is for whoever digs it, right? Dig it. So if you dig it, dig into this. I have bonus episodes. I have a lot of bonus episodes. I just started doing bonus episodes last year, and I try my best to get them out, at least one a week. But you can find bonus episodes at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. And there, with your donation, it only costs $5 to get in the door. Only $5, and you get access to all the other bonus episodes and peace of mind of helping to give back to support an independent artist, an independent creator, as I am now getting into mini web series as well, because I need that creative outlet. So again, if you're not already a member, consider supporting the show and getting something back at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. And if I didn't have a day job, by God, I would most definitely have a new one out every single week. And I had been doing that. I had been doing that until maybe a month or so ago. But it was becoming increasingly difficult for me because I felt like I was burning my personal candle at both ends. I just did not have enough energy, and I wasn't having fun doing this or anything else because I was helping family with manual labor and then rushing back and trying to do this and that and yada, 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 yada. And let me tell you, I'm also on social media. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. My handle on all three is at James J. Asher. And before I forget, if you want to help, I invite you, and nay, I encourage you to help guide this ship. You are perfectly welcome to help harvest content for this show. I'm talking memes, topics to riff on, articles, videos, music, whatever. You got an idea? You got a proposition? You got questions? Send them to me. Email them to me at thatthingwithjames@gmail.com. That's thatthingwithjames@gmail.com. And you can also please shitpost on my subreddit, r/ThatThingWithJames. Now back to what I was getting at. Burning the candle at both ends. Over the past few episodes, I guess, or at least the last 2 episodes prior to this one, like the 2 freemium episodes, I had been sort of discussing or meditating on the idea of finding let me not finding, but just sort of accepting and learning how to work with my current circumstances, my current life circumstances, the given circumstances, for those of you who have taken good acting classes. I've been discussing coming to terms with some stuff, things that I lost, discovering what I have, figuring out what I can do with what I have, that sort of thing. And committing, and even outside of the pod, I had been making strides to just be better, like be more healthy. And I mean physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even, if you will. And I was like, finally kind of, taking back some control, employing what resources and options I had available. And then last weekend happened. And again, I record this podcast 5 days before it's released. So by the time you're seeing and or hearing this, it will have been basically 2 weeks ago. But as of right now, last weekend broke me big time. Let me say I had a slight, not a complete, but I will say a slight nervous breakdown. I was broken. Physically broken. If you didn't know, old heads, you already know this, but if you didn't know, I live with a level of chronic that is like, it's persistent, it goes on all the time, chronic pain and or discomfort, physical pain and discomfort that many people, I won't say most, but many people never know their entire lives until perhaps they are very old. And that's because I broke my spine. I got a crushed vertebra, I think is the singular, crushed vertebra when I was 20 years old. And no doctors or anyone wanted to do any surgery or anything, yada, yada, yada. I have, I guess it might be called an invisible disability, along with my anxiety disorder and persistent existential dread, physical pain and or discomfort. I have it every day, and but I'm still pretty strong and mobile. I do things to take care of myself. And, but there are certain types of physical labor that really, fuck me up for at least a week. And right now it has been 8 days since I did the kind of labor that fucking broke me. And, so there's that. So that went on. And then something else happened. I don't feel comfortable going into more detail about it, but something else happened very close around that time that, I was not only physically broken, but then emotionally broken. Something happened, and it fucking snapped. I just snapped, not in a lash out in anger and break things kind of way, just as in like the last straw. like I was the camel. My back was already bowing, proverbial, kind of physically and metaphorically. The last straw happened, and I broke my metaphorical back and then just sent my body out of whack. Hey, that kind of rhymed. And so then that happened. And then the very next day, I get back home here to my apartment where I'm recording this right now. And I'm trying to do something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something normal. I'm going to go back to my routine and recover from this intense fucking physical and emotional beating that I took. And then, Sunday happens, a week ago from right now. And then I'm going to record the podcast, get back into my flow. And then something else happened and ripped me away from that. And another thing was done. And that fucking broke me even further. It was like, trying to recover, and then yet another fatal fucking blow just came in and boom. Like I was already weak, but then the true final blow, I didn't even know I had taken a final blow yet, but the final blow came, boom, emotionally. Some things were said. I won't go into details. Who, when, how, what, but some things were said, and they were not intentional. None of this stuff happened out of malice or hatred or intention to hurt. It was just a really shitty series of events and things said that perhaps maybe were taken the wrong way or whatever, but the next thing happened, boom, I was pulled back out of my cycle, pulled out of recovery, boom, beat again. And so this entire fucking week I have been, and again, by now, right, you hearing this, it's been 2 weeks, so hopefully things have gotten better. But at the time of this recording right now, it has been a rough week. However, I do have a new puppy. Well, rather, my significant other has a puppy. She has wanted a puppy for a long time, and by God, she got it. And it is a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. We named it Cosmo. I didn't even have a name for it. She suggested Cosmo. Because I went with her to the pet store to look at this dog, and he was just perfect, a perfect little bean, and so fucking sweet and cute. And then she, my SO, suggested, let's call him Cosmo. And I was like, yeah, that's like, you mean like Cosmo Kramer? And she was like, yes. And that kind of blew my mind because she does not like Seinfeld. She loves Larry David. She actually called it early on because I had not seen a single second or even been described to. No one had described to me the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, so I didn't really know who Larry David was. And many, many, many years ago, my lady said, "You're like Larry David." And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so she showed me. We started at the very beginning of, not after the tone, of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I was like, instant, oh yeah, no, this is spot on. Good call. But she doesn't like, she loves Curb, hates Seinfeld, which is apostate in my eyes. Seinfeld is fucking great, as is Curb. They're two different shows, but they're both fucking great. However, I was very surprised that she wanted to name the dog Cosmo Kramer. And she only calls him Cosmo. I call him Cosmo too, but it's difficult for me to not call him Taz. because that was my parents' toy poodle for so many years that passed away. I think at the beginning of this year, Taz died. But Cosmo, I keep catching myself trying to call him Taz, but no. So we got the dog. She got the dog, and we're raising the dog. And I am I'm loving the dog. He's so fucking sweet and very, very smart. Very smart. Perfect dog. I love him. The only thing is, I really hate having carpet floors because my apartment is mostly carpet floors. So it's been a lot of cleaning up dog shit and then waking up and totally readjusting to this new life, taking care of this new thing on top of already having been fucking broken. All right. So this is just like a perfect storm of awful thoughts storming around in my brain over the past 7 days as of right now. Oh yeah, it has actually been 7 days. It's Sunday now. It was Sunday then. 7 days. And it has been very fucking rough. And so over these past 7 days, it has just been a storm, constant storm in my mind on top of physically, not feeling great from the work, from the labor. And then, it's just like a mental and emotional attack. This has been, without a doubt, the worst week so far this year. And I really hope it is the worst week for the entirety of this year. I hope this is it. I hope this is the big fucking hit because your boy, yours truly, needs a break. Like a real break of some kind. I need something to make up for how dog shit this past week was. Let me take a sip of water and see where I'm going with this. All right, I'm back. And I should share this episode's beverage. And they are not sponsors of the show. They're not paying me to say any of this stuff. Although if they wanted to, I'd be cool with that. I'd be down to clown for Waterloo Sparkling Water. This week's flavor is cherry limeade. As far as I know, it's a newer one. I'm not newer flavor. I'm not sure if I have described it yet on this show. It's been out for, I don't know, maybe I discovered it like a month ago or something. I don't know. Cherry limeade, Waterloo water. It's fucking delicious. I love it. And again, they're not a sponsor or anything, but if you're looking for a good, tasty, flavored sparkling water, ditch the other stuff. I'm not going to drag other brands. I mean, I could. A couple other come to mind, but I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to drag them, but I am going to boost Waterloo because this shit tastes fucking good. It's my favorite sparkling water. I drink it. I don't drink soda. I don't drink sody pop. I used to when I was much younger. And it's no surprise. I used to get heartburn, like when I was in high school. Like if I would eat chili, I would get fucking heartburn because I was drinking like 6 cans of like Pepsi, or cherry Coke a day. And then finally, I think like one summer I was like the, fountain and dessert maker for a Sonic drive-thru. And I was around and drank so much fucking soda that I just fully stopped drinking soda for years. Like I didn't even have a sip. Nowadays, I might have one. Like I might have like 2 or 3 out of an entire year now. But it's mostly just sparkling water. I like to stay hydrated. Yours truly likes to stay hydrated. And you should too, because your body needs it. All right? I don't care. You don't like how water tastes. Guess what? It doesn't have that much of a taste. And if you don't like the taste, find some better water. And I'm not talking some bullshit. Look up that, I think he's a German. There's a water sommelier on TikTok, and he talks about good water. Like, look for some good natural spring water, and you might change your mind. Change your water game, change your life. Yeah. Damn, that's tasty. So, let me say this. I reached after all this stuff, after all this extremely difficult week, I finally reached at least one resolution yesterday. So Saturday, the 4th, June 4th. And how do I talk about this without giving away too much? I kind of recame to terms with, or I identified, I found the words to express the trouble I was having, and that was not having agency, or feeling like I didn't have agency, not just now, but over my entire fucking life, way back to when I was really, really little, feeling like, and maybe you feel like this too, maybe this is something you've dealt with too, but the idea of people, especially those very close to you, and it might not actually be this way. This is just feelings and perceptions. Feelings and perceptions may not be accurate, but they are nonetheless real when you are feeling and thinking and experiencing them on your own, like individually, subjectively. People not really asking or caring to ask, seemingly. Again, this is seemingly. I'm not saying this is how it is, but the sense, perhaps the illusion, that people not asking what you want, what you like, what you enjoy, but instead insisting, foisting upon you things that they think you want, that they want you to want, that I would argue that they want for themselves. And so they reinforce it upon themselves by forcing it upon you. You should like this. You should do this, and you should react this way, and you should feel this way about it, and you should be grateful for it. People do this. I've probably done it. You've probably done it to others. I'm sure fucking everyone has done it and has had it done to them. To have expectations foisted upon them. That's a word I learned from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Thank you, Larry David. To have expectations and opinions and illusions foisted, F-O-I-S-T, I think is how it's spelled, foisted upon you without ever stopping and asking, is this something you're really into? Is this something you actually like? Is this something that you're about, that resonates with you? And to feel that when you do, and that's often coupled with a feeling that when you do try to communicate that, no, I actually am not into this. I'm actually into this other thing. Let me tell you, let me communicate to you in very respectful terms. What I like, oh God, I just remembered this new season of Barry, season 3. Barry, this show on HBO. If you don't know about it, it's fucking great. And there was this thing. Character was like going totally psychotic and was doing psychotic shit. And there was this one line that killed me. I mean, this character wrote this batshit crazy stuff after doing a bunch of batshit crazy stuff, and then was also at the same time trying to make an effort to express and share of themselves, share their truth with somebody. And so they made a collage of things that they are interested in, things that they relate and resonate with. And this collage was batshit crazy, but the character writes this note for a little bit of context because they're giving this collage to a person, and they say, "This is what I'm about," or "FYI, here's what I'm about." And it was very funny line reading and everything else. But he he was being totally psycho, and it got met with some not great reaction. However, sometimes you can be totally not psycho and totally reasonable and respectful and share something and say, "This is what I'm about," and be met with absolute offense, especially if it's old men. To say, "I don't really like this or want to do this. Here's what I'm about." And to be, met with judgment, negative judgment. It sucks. And so where am I going? I guess for a lot of my life, yesterday I found the terms of what I've been dealing with is a sort of like a renewal or a reminder, or, it's fucking happening again, feeling that I have dealt with a lot my entire life, and that is being bulldozed, ran through, trying to do my thing, trying to pursue something and getting fucking Tboned and ripped away and saying, "No, I don't care. Fuck you. You're doing this and you're liking it." And it just, it broke me. It fucking broke me, man. And let me take another sip of water to try to wrap this thing up real quick. I need to work my legs and try to square the octagon or whatever the fuck. Just a second. Here we go. Here's where I was getting off track. The being Tboned, the feeling. I don't know if I actually was or wasn't. I think it was a little bit of both. I honestly think it was a little bit of both. That it actually happened, and that it was just a perfect storm of. There were some things that were shared in not great ways and it happened at the wrong time, so that it came out worse than it actually was. But then at the same time, there was an element of getting ran through. And that led to me feeling like I'm a fucking failure. And it's worse than just that. I never even gave it a real shot. I never even gave it a real shot. And it felt devastating. I don't know if you have certain passions in anything, in getting a dog or something, in writing in getting perfect handwriting, in accomplishing some thing, in traveling to some place, whatever passion you have, feeling I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but if you have any kind of passion, and everyone has at least some kind of passion, whether they realize it or not, it doesn't matter how large or small it is. Everyone has some kind of passion, some kind of dream. And the feeling of, did I ever even really give it a shot, is devastating. And that's kind of what I was really dealing with. That and a lot of just being fucking done, so to speak. Just being broken. Well, yesterday I got some resolution. I had a talk through and, cleared the air, found out what was real, what wasn't real, what was intended, what, how, no malice was intended in things that happened, but it just happened at such a shit time. It came out really bad. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Give me a second again. Hold on. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're feeling ran through, Tboned, subverted, usurped in some way, in some pursuit of you trying to find your truth and trying to live a kind of life that you actually resonate with, I guess I encourage you to communicate these things. Just be open and communicate these things, and bullshit is still going to happen, but it will pass. And at some point, maybe don't give up, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not really sure where I was going with this, but I will say I've got, again, two good. Oh, I forgot the last good thing that's going to happen. Unless it changes, I am a guest host on Radio Free Tote Bag, unless things change. I got a DM from one of the two main hosts of the podcast, and one of them is out of town and unavailable, so the other reached out and asked if I would be willing to help them and be a guest co-host for this week's episode. And so by the time this is out, by the time That Thing with James is out, I believe that episode of Radio Free Tote Bag should be out. For the uninitiated, it is a relationship podcast. It's just everything to do with relationships and sexuality and that kind of stuff. It's great. I love it. It's like Loveline, but better. If you haven't heard it, I encourage you to check it out. The two hosts, I've had them both separately on this show before, on my podcast here. They are lovely people, and I'm honored, if it indeed happened, I'm honored to have been invited to be a co-host. Yeah, so that's cool. Look out for that. And also, again, look out for the bonus episode of this show, That Thing with James. Stick around, because I am going to be talking about the fucking Morbius sweep. Baby, the best thing that has happened this week is that I went relatively, within my own context, relatively, super small time micro viral for a Morbius meme that I made. Plus, I've got a 6-pack, a happy trail, and I'm looking fucking good. So at least I've got these things going for me. And I guess for sure a third thing, the culmination, the final bonus product that I've been teasing out of my first ever web series after The Tone. I really encourage you to check it out. It's a horror comedy about an obsessive ex who turns into a clown. But this 10th installation, it's all the 9 parts plus a very exclusive interview, because the creator got to work with an English television producer. for an exclusive interview. Okay, so that's it. I don't think I fully wrapped this episode up, but I don't think there was a good way to wrap it up. At least not that I can think of right now, but I need to charge the camera and get ready for the bonus episode at patreon.com/thatthingwithjames. That's patreon.com/thatthingwithjames. You can find a link in this episode's description. I love you. Thank you for tuning in if you made it this far, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.